Worldwide, the market for food delivery stands at 83 billion euro, or 1% of the total food market, or 4% of food sold through restaurants and fast food chains. It has already matured in most countries, with an overall annual growth rate estimated at just 3.5% for the next 5 years. By far, the most common form of delivery is the traditional model, in which the consumer places an order with a local pizza or a Chinese restaurant and waits for the restaurant to bring the food to the door. This traditional categories has a 90% market share, and most of those orders, almost 3/4, are still placed by phone. However, as in so many other sectors, the rise of digital technology is reshaping the market. Consumers accustomed to shopping online through apps or website with maximum convenience and transparency increasingly expect the same experience when it comes to ordering dinner. Two types of online platform have risen to fill that void. The first type is the aggregators, which emerged roughly 15 years ago. The second is the new delivery players, which appeared in 2013. Both allow consumers to compare menus, scan and post reviews, and place orders from a variety of restaurants with a single click. The aggregators, which are part of the traditional delivery category, simply take orders from consumers and route them to restaurants, which handle the delivery themselves. In contrast, the new delivery players build their own logistic networks, providing delivery for restaurants that don't have their own drivers. In this chart, we see the main key players. On the right side, there is the business model of all of them, and the new delivery business model is the most frequent. The aggregators with the asset-light model have EBITDA margins of 40–50%. McKinsey research shows that just 26% of traditional delivery orders are made online today, but we expect this share to increase rapidly. Crucially, the player in the new delivery category also provide the logistics for the restaurant. The mechanism of the logistic is here. So after the customer search and order, the restaurant receives the order and cook, and then there is the delivery process, and which ends up with the consumption. The new delivery players are compensated by the restaurant with a fixed margin of the order between 10 and 12%, commission on every order, as well as an initial fee for the terminal in the restaurant. There is then a small flat fee from the customer for the delivery. Despite the high cost of maintaining delivery vehicles and drivers, the new delivery players achieve EBITDA margins of more than 30%. Players include brands that operate globally, such as Delivery Hero, Deliveroo, and Foodora, which are continuing to capture new region. In this chart, we see the evolution of profitability for both models, and we see that in the recent year, the home delivery margin has increased and it became more profitable. A quality industry must be able to sustain its high returns. One way to assess a sector ability to do this is to analyze it through the Porter's 5 forces. The first element is the threat of new entrants. We found that there is no low entry barriers, there is no regulatory barriers, no huge capital requirements, and but there is a high early entry and incumbency advantages, which means that there are barriers to success. Here we find all the global leaders in online food delivery, and the Delivery Hero is the global leader. The threat of substitution is the second point, and we find that there is inferior threat of substitution, and the substitute could be ordering by phone or walking into a takeaway in person. Buyer power, the buyer is the customer, which benefits from increased choice, convenience, price transparency. Buyer bears no feasible financial burden. There is no threat of backward integration. The buyer's concentration approaches zero. Therefore, there's low power for the buyer. The supplier, which are the restaurants and the takeaways, benefit from increased orders and the offset by the commission. Suppliers are fragmented. There is low threat of forward integration, low concentration, therefore low supplier power. The competitive intensity can be split into established market, where we find low competition because there is high concentration, there is a market leader, high customer retention, as we see from this chart. Almost in all regions of the world there is high retention of the customer. And then we found also immature markets, and where there is high competition. Because of low concentration, no market leader, acquire or dispose is the most common strategy. As we can also see from this chart, it's proven and a successful strategy, and it leads to an increase in growth and in margins. The actual global leader, as we saw, is Delivery Hero, which has a first position in 35 countries and a competitive market player position in 7 countries. As a summary of the Porter's 5 forces, we saw there is low threat of new entrants, low bargaining power of buyers, low threat of substitution, low bargaining power for suppliers, therefore results in a high industry profitability. According to McKinsey, the addressable market for new delivery will reach more than 20 billion by 2025. The compound annual growth rate from 2015 to 2018 for the online food delivery market has been 25%. The forecasted value from 2018 to 2020 is 15%. It's clear from this chart that the compound annual growth rate for the offline food delivery it's decreasing, and it's also supposed to decrease in the next period. We now focus on the SWOT analysis of Delivery Hero. First, on the internal factors, so on the strengths and the weaknesses. Delivery Hero is the global leadership with first position in 35 countries. It's backed from Germany, and so from a prosperous economy. It's got very good human resources, reputation, and customer loyalty, and globally oriented and geographically diversified. Here we see the human resources they have. Then the weaknesses especially are concerning research, which shows that older demographics are not as technologically savvy as the younger generation, and only wait for ordering is through an app or PC, which could decrease the potential customers. Certain competitors are leaders in strategic markets like US and UK. The external factors are mainly the opportunities, acquisition synergies, again, innovation, and on products and services, find new delivery solution, target the high-end consumers who want delivery from the finest restaurants. But the threats on the other side could be that the high-end restaurants may want to stay exclusive to give a consumer a unique brand experience. And then the strong competition in certain markets could lead to EBITDA to decrease, customer taste to change, not being able to catch a trend, so a very fast expansion could reduce customer satisfaction. Thank you very much.